It's a lot simpler to put your hides into the braining solution if they've been softened up a little bit. The night before I go ahead and brain them, I soak them in rainwater overnight. Here's my rain barrel. Just roll them up, put them in there, and then weight them down once they've softened up a little bit, and we'll wring them out in the morning and go ahead and put them in the brains. I've pulled the hide out of the rain barrel. Now we have to go through a process of wringing it out and soaking it in brains. It's going to absorb brains better the more water you have wringing out of it. So we're going to go ahead and wring it first, but also that'll start actually stretching the fiber, which is what we want to do. We want to stretch it apart so that it'll absorb more oil from the brains. I'd go ahead, twist the hide around on itself. Then I put it around a tree branch. Go ahead and tuck in the loose ends. Twist it around on itself, and I take an axe handle, run through here, and start wringing it. The way that I do it is once I have it wrung, I go ahead and start stretching it by hand. Start working out these fibers. Now that we've got a decent amount of water out of there, we'll go ahead and soak it in the brains. Here's our kettle of brains. There's some of what's left in there. We're going to go ahead and soak the hide in this. And then once it's soaked up some of those brains, we'll go ahead and wring it back out. I always put my kettle underneath the limb or whatever I'm wringing it out over, so that you can keep some of those brains dripping back down here into the pot so you don't waste them. And then just let it sit for a few minutes and we'll wring it out again. Our hide's been soaking here in the brains for a little while. Now it's time to start wringing it out. The whole point of this is to get the fibers stretched out apart and to get the brain absorbed into the fiber. So you want to keep stretching it in different directions, and wringing it helps. back out a little bit more. And if it's starting to get stretchy like this, it's working. And the brains are starting to absorb into the hide. Keep stretching it and putting it back into the brains as many times as you can. I try to do it 5 to 10 times, and then you should have it good absorption with your brains. Go ahead and put it back into the pot. At this point, our hide is fully brained. If you wanted to, you could keep working it out at this point until it's totally soft. But it's getting a little bit late in the evening for that. And so what I'm going to do is roll it up, put it in a plastic bag, and keep it in the refrigerator overnight so that it'll keep the moisture inside of it. Tomorrow morning I can finish working it. Or if you wanted to work it much later, you could even put it in the freezer as long as it's in a plastic bag to keep that moisture in. Once your hide is brained, it's time to start working it out until it's completely dry. There's different ways of going about this. Some people will string up a rope and work it back and forth over that.